let's make sure this is working correctly real quick. Alright, sweet. Let's mute that. Alright, let's grab my mic. Alright, so we're just talking on Discord right now about ways to use resets. And when it comes to Chun-Li, something that people like to do sometimes is they might hit you with something and then they're going to go ahead and hit you with a smash punch. So if your opponent isn't expecting you to go ahead and go for the reset, then regardless of what button they push, I believe when it's at 3 frames of delay, so that means that they're kind of like, oh crap, I can press something. If they decide to try and press something at this point, if I did this correctly, this should work. So let's say I had done my safe jump right, and I got the punch. I'm going to go ahead and drive rush cancel and go for the overhead. So basically, you know, if they're not wide awake and you do that, they're going to go ahead and get hit. Now, on the other hand, if they were like frame perfect on reacting to the fact that you went for an overhead, even if it was like 2 frames or less, you will get hit. So, you know, it's always risky to go for a reset, but the reward for it is interesting. So I'm going to do the same thing, right? Obviously, I get hit if they're just mashing already. Now, if I want to go ahead and do kind of a cute little combo on them, when I get this overhead, if I have the spacing for it, then depending on if I got counter hit, I should be able to go ahead with drive rush, hit the 2 medium punch. So we're going to do the jump in. So obviously that punished me. That sucks, right? Let's see how that hit. That's one of the big things, is whether or not you got that hit. Now, you could try doing it from here, but at 2 frames, it will punish you. So, just going to go ahead and show that real quick. Oops. Go back. So at 2 frames, I will get punished for this. The only thing that I'm stopping, it looks like, is something that had a 5-frame startup when they're reacting that quickly. But anything that's invincible is going to stop me from hitting it. Now the next thing I'm going to do is just show and see what type of things we can do from that reset when our opponent's in the corner. So let's go ahead and go over here. We're going to just turn on counter hit only, because usually you're going to be stopping them with a frame trap. So we're on counter hit. We're going to have our opponent crouch, and basically just see what our options are. So I'm spaced right here. I have 7 frames. Depending on what I use on this part. If I do like overdrive Kokoken, it's going to push me out a certain distance. I need to not screw this up though. Alright, so I'm at 5 frames, so that's not going to work. It's based on spacing at this point. So, I think your best option right here, if you wanted to add the overdrive Kokoken, is see if you did like the crouching one. You might be able to get 2 of those. So let's check that. Alright, that whiff, so that's not going to work either. Yeah, we're still at 5 frames. So, to be honest, I think your best punishment on someone who got hit by that overhead and you don't want to use meter after the reset, you can do 2 and B. Either do overdrive spinning bird kick and get some extra damage by doing something like this. I suck right now. So I mean, you could do something like that if you land the overhead and you go into the 2 medium punch, because you'll have enough charge time to get the overdrive spinning bird kick. But if you're close enough, you could technically get the 5 medium punch before you do the 2 medium punch. So, I mean, to me, your go-to combo, anytime you get that overhead and you're close to your opponent, it's usually going to be the overhead, medium punch, and the medium punch. It's a good chunk of damage on a reset. But, yeah, I don't go for those resets very often. Regardless if you're doing the 2 heavy punch after your jump in, or if you're doing the 4 heavy punch, 4 heavy punch does have the better advantage if I was going to drive rush cancel. So that's one of the big things right there. Outside of that, you know, you get creative, but resets tend to be something you rely on. It's something that once you get your opponent conditioned, you're going to use them. Alright, so does that make sense? Basically, if your opponent is getting used to you getting the combo and finishing it, then it's funny to do the reset, because sometimes that might be the closer, whereas like you're going to be pretty heavily scaled if you finish your usual combo. And I mean, if you do the overdrive Kokoken and then you do that, it's freaking hilarious, because there's so many different ways to finish your combos when you're trying to kill an opponent. Besides that, the only other stuff I would probably point out is that, you know, when your opponent's crouching, if you're able to go ahead and get something real simple like the jump in, and you went ahead and, you know, once you hit them, you're able to stand, then you're going to change up how you do your combo at that point. But if I did the jump in and did something like that, when I drive rush, my opponent can react, I believe, because I don't think two medium punch has enough advantage right here. So, you know, if I jumped in, went, yeah, get jabbed, and I think even at 3 frames, they're still going to be able to stop me. I don't think I'm going to have any good options if I went for that combo. Yep. So, ideally, 4 heavy punch after a jump in if you want to go for the reset. Because if they're standing up, and I did what you were doing, which was jump in and do this one, I'm pretty sure anything they do is going to hit me. Yeah, you're getting stopped on all those. So yeah, I think this is my go-to if I get jumped in on the reset. Anyways, if you have any other questions, feel free to put it in the Discord. You know, there's lots of other players in there like Chun Forever, Ivory, Avalon, Willinson, I believe. All of them are really knowledgeable, and you know, I don't get to play online as much as I would like, but anytime you have questions, feel free to leave it in the right section. We'll do our best to help.